Okay, welcome everybody. This is Jim McCord. We are here on Wednesday afternoon. We do this every Wednesday afternoon at 1 o'clock Eastern Time. And today we're in for a treat. We have Kelly Wheeler, who is going to be sharing with us Mailbox Power for Realtors. And Kelly is a eXp realtor down in Florida. He also is one of the top Mailbox Power affiliates. He is the top, not one of, he is the top Mailbox Power affiliate in the country. And it is almost every single month. So Kelly, I'm just going to let you go from there. Take it away, brother.
Okay. So guys, if you see me look over in this direction, that's because I have two monitors and all of your lovely faces are over here. Jim, I'm going to go ahead and try to attempt to do a screen share. Okay, my friend?
Correct.
This will stop. Yes, I'm going to stop. I'm going to go ahead and pull this. And if everybody could let me know, do you see my screen? Just drop a chat, yes or no.
Yes.
Everybody good? Okay, good. So before we get into the power of what you can do as an agent, and this is the stuff that I train, guys, I train, I got over 44,000 agents on my YouTube channel, and I do a lot of training on direct mail, and this is my #1 system. I also have over 6,000 agents on my workplace within eXp, my private group. And this stuff right here, agents are loving this stuff because we are doing something a little different. And before I get into, and I'm going to be very brief, before I get into how to use the build a mailing list to go after the perfect client, I want to talk about the full ramification of what Mailbox Power is. And some of you already know this. Some of you are on the call and you're new to this. This is what I tell agents when I talk to them about lead generation, software platforms. Of everything that you're using right now, in my humble opinion, Mailbox Power is one of those softwares that I believe in my heart of hearts every real estate agent should have. And here's why. I'm going to talk today about lead generation and conversion strategies and how to use this, but this program does more than just that. I'm not going to get into that part of it, Jim is, but guys, this is how you maintain your current database. This is how you work your referrals long-term for the next 1 to 10 years. This is how you stay top of mind with old clients by getting them anniversary cards, birthday cards, brownies, gifts. Hey, I was thinking about you, want to send you a coffee cup, right? That's how you stay top of mind with those clients. So it's not just about getting new leads and sending out direct mail. It's data management. It's maintaining your current database. And we're not talking about just an email. Guys, I think everybody is in agreement. Emails get read about 8 to 10% of the time. But when I send something through the mail, it's almost a 100% read unless they no longer live there. And then I make changes accordingly. But this software is more than what I'm going to be sharing with you today. To me, it's a complete data management system for my client base. So having said all of that, what I want to share with you guys today is what I train other agents. And I've got probably 200 agents right now that are in my private mentoring group just for Mailbox Power. And then I've got a bunch of them joining my new Facebook group that I did that's private just for Mailbox Power. And this is what I'm going to share with you guys today, how to go out and acquire new clients, and then how to convert these clients at a high rate. So let me start by saying this. You can do a lot of advertising as an agent right now. You can do Facebook ads, YouTube ads. You can buy leads from realtor.com, from Zillow, all of this stuff, right? But what if you were able to go in and find what I would call the perfect client? For instance, what if you could go to your zip code right now and find every buyer that has a 650 or 700 credit score, that has been renting for 3+ years or 2+ years, whatever you want, and has an income of say $60,000, $70,000, $80,000 or more a year? What if you could find in your county, in your zip code, just those people? Wouldn't that be a group of people you would want to start attracting to be a buyer agent? You see, when I go to Facebook and I run a $10 or $20 a day ad, I'm going to be generating leads from every spectrum: 17-year-olds, 80-year-olds, -300 credit, 800+ credit. I'm not really looking to buy a home. I might be interested, right? I'm going to be spending my money to kind of get everybody. With Mailbox Power, I'm going to eliminate everybody but who I feel is my perfect client. So that's #1. And I'm going to show you how to do that in just a minute. What if you could go in and dominate any neighborhood? Let's say you're a realtor and there's a neighborhood or two or three that you really want to start farming. One of the things that's being taught, and I used to do this, is what's called every door direct mail. This is where you go and you buy you go to the US Post Office, to their EDDM site, and you purchase a geographical area. The minimum is 500 addresses. Can be up to 2,000, 3,000 addresses, but you purchase a blanket area, and then you go and you order, 500, 2,000, how many ever addresses you want to blanket. You order those cards, you create them, order them, have them shipped to you. You then give it to the post office, and they will take that card and put it in everybody's mailbox. Now, on face value, that seems pretty good. I call that the carpet bombing approach. You're literally just bombing everybody. 98% of those people aren't your clients. Thus, while it's a good way to get new clientele, it's a horrible use of time and money because you're spending your dollars advertising to people that aren't in the market. But what if you could take that same area and go into any neighborhood, any zip code, any area, let's just say neighborhood, and you can pull every homeowner. You can eliminate renters and only pull homeowners who have lived in their home for at least 7 or 8 years. Guys, according to NAR, the 8-year mark is on average when families start thinking about selling. They're either going to buy a move up home, a larger home, or they're buying a move down home. They're buying a smaller home, but it's the 8-year mark. So what if you could go to that neighborhood and say, I want every home between 250,000 and 500,000. I want homeowners, not renters. I want them to have been living in their home at least 7 years. I also want them to have children. I want them to be this age group, and I like whatever. You come up with a criteria. And instead of 3,000 addresses, you narrow it down to 200. That's what MailboxPower will do. So now I'm going to dedicate my resources to the right client with offers and messages that convert. And I'll give you a for instance. I'm working some of these lists right now, and I do a lot of for sale by owner advertising. And so I send my postcards to them. I went on an appointment on Saturday this week. I got the listing off of my cards by targeting them. I'm also going to be working with them as their buyer's agent. So now I've got a listing and a family that's going to be a buyer off of a less than $1 postcard. That's the power of MailboxPower. So let's go ahead and just play a scenario right now. And guys, for this, I'm going to use my area, my address, but you can do this anywhere in the United States. Right, so let's go ahead, and for the first thing that I want to do is I want to target buyers, just so you can see how this works. 34711, that's the zip code. Now, if you guys will notice, there's 25,000 people in my zip code that I could target. I don't want to target 25,000 people. It's a waste of my time and money on the wrong clientele. So now I'm going to go into my demographics, and very quickly, I'm going to eliminate everybody but renters. Look at what happens to the 25,000. It now drops to 31. That's still too many. So now I want renters that have been renting for at least 3 years. And guys, watch what happens to the number. It drops another 1,000, but I'm still not done. Now, let me go back up here. I also want income of at least 60K a year or higher. Why? Because I want them to be able to get approved for and afford a mortgage. If these guys have got really good credit, but they only make 35 grand a year, they're not a target for me, right? So the last thing I'm going to do for my buyer list is I'm going to eliminate credit score. So now I'm going to start at 650. Okay. Now remember, when we started, I had 25,000 people. So what the big data is doing is it's saying, okay, here is a list of 329 potential home buyers in your area that you can target out of 25,000. Guys, you couldn't buy this list on Facebook. You couldn't and by the way, if I want to buy that list, it cost me $30. Now I can market to them on demand. I can send them a card every month or twice a month. And let's talk about numbers. If I want to send everybody a card, the first card they're going to get from me might be the free one, the 4x6. It's 37 cents to send it. Okay, 329 people. Guys, $120 for me to get a message about home ownership to these people and start getting that message out to them. Here's what I know. A really bad realtor that doesn't know how to convert, doesn't have great offers, and they stumble, should be able to convert 1% of those in 6 months. That's 3.2 deals. How good are you? What is your offer? today's video, we're not talking offers. We're not talking about your skill set, but think about this. If you as a realtor have some really decent offers and you're not afraid to communicate with these people and engage them, how much higher could your closing ratio be? What if you're at 2%? Now you're at 7 deals off of a 329 list buyer. All you need are offers and cards, and you can start sending them these things. And guys, this is a targeted list I could not get on Facebook. Number one, Facebook won't let me target people with a specific credit score, and it won't let me target just renters. If I go to Facebook, and I do a lot of Facebook advertising, I got to go for everybody. So I hope you see how powerful that is. And that's why MailboxPower is one of my top lead generation and conversion sources, because I'm going to the right people. Disclaimer, because this came up on one of our sites. You are going to have some of these addresses come back to you as non-deliverable. That's normal. So if you send out 329 and get 30 back, don't sweat it. Just eliminate those 30 on your list that you purchase. And so next month, you're only sending out 299, right? But you're going to constantly be sending them postcards and engaging them. And at some point, they're going to say, okay, I'm interested. You keep sending me this stuff. What can I do? So that's one version. So now I want to show you how to get sellers. Okay, this is how we go after sellers. Guys, I can go into my list and use this for any neighborhood I want. I could go to zip code, I could whatever. I'm going to go per neighborhood. I'm going to use my address to show you how I can become the dominant agent in my neighborhood or any neighborhood. And here's the question, and I'm going to open up the chat bar. I want everybody to let me know what you think. Have you ever, as a realtor, if you live in a neighborhood, have you ever gone out for the day and shown houses, come back, and suddenly there's another broker sign on your street, just got listed for sale, and it's not yours? How do you feel? Has that happened to you? Yes or no? Go to chat and let me know if that's happened to you. Just yes, you've driven through and suddenly a broker sign shows up in your neighborhood that's not yours. Yes, so everybody's saying yes. Guys, that's frustrating. So I used to get mad at that. I used to be like, dang them, right? Oh my God. Now I don't do that anymore. Why? I get mad at myself. If a sign goes up on a house 3 doors down from me and it's happened for sale, my next door neighbor listed her house with a different brokerage, right? And I got so mad. And then I realized, why am I getting mad at them? They don't know who I am. The neighborhood doesn't know the ninja lives here because I haven't farmed it. So really it's my fault. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to change that. And this is a process that takes time. Guys, this type of marketing isn't just send out one set of cards and wait for the money to come in. This is an every month strategy for you to get 2, 3, and 4 listings a month. You've got to be implementing this every month. This can't be a one set it and go. You got to do it every month. You got to let these people know every month who you are. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and do a radius around my address to show you how powerful this is. And you can dominate any neighborhood using this. So let me pull up my house. See if I can get it. Okay, so there we go. The default is 2 miles. My neighborhood happens to be around here. So let me go ahead and go into about 0.9 miles. Okay, and then I'm going to move this. My house, I live on this lake, but I'm going to pull it up just to here. And then I'm going to come down maybe right there. Perfect. So that really is my neighborhood. There's 3,500 people in this area. I don't want to spend my dollars going to all of them. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of some. So for all of the people that live out here, I want to get rid of any renters. I just want to talk to homeowners. There are some people on the outskirts in townhomes. I'm going to go after single family dwellings. And then the last thing I want to do on this is I want to go everybody that's been living for 7+ years. The guys, watch what happens as I build this list. The number started at 3,200, which I don't want to send everybody a card because 98% of them are not going to be listing this year. I only want to find those that statistically are going to come on the market. So I went from 3,000 to 1,300. That's still too big. So now I'm going to drop down to the age, and I know my area. This will be different for everybody. I'm going to start at 33 and work myself up. This is the age group I'm going after right here on my list. Don't ask me why I'm doing this, guys. I'm just showing you what I do. Your area will be specific to your demographics. I'm going to go to 48. Then I'm going to come down here and estimated home values. I only want to deal with people between 200 and 349. That's about the average price point. Now, if I want to even segment this list even further, I can go down and say credit rating, net worth, homes purchased, year of home. I don't want to do all of that. I'm coming up with a list of people I can start marketing to right now every month. And there it is right there. I went from 3,900 people to 313 homeowners. $29 and I own that list. And guys, you better believe I am going to start sending them a postcard once a month. Now, guys, this is not a come list me postcard. This is an introduction. The ninja lives in your neighborhood. If you have questions, if you want a cup of coffee, if you would like a valuation for free without having to worry about listing. By the way, the next card could be, hey, don't forget to come see me downtown Claremont. Next week, there's going to be a country music festival. Look for the guy with a cowboy hat or whatever, right? You're just staying top of mind. And then in every card, have some little thing about if you'd like to know what's going on in our neighborhood sales-wise, give me a call or text me in this number. I'd love to share with you. Whatever. Those cards need to go out so you stay top of mind. But guys, again, if you are sending out 313, my first card is going to be the 4x6, and then I'll switch it up with some of the free 5x7s. It's going to cost me on average $100 to $115 a month to let everybody in my neighborhood know that has the 8-year mark, that is my perfect client, that I live here. And if you want a great real estate agent, if you want the ninja, let's have a conversation. That's going to be my modus operandi moving forward. And I can use this strategy on any neighborhood, guys. That's why I'm saying MailboxPower needs to factor in. To me, it should be one of these softwares every agent's using with your other lead gen strategy, because I'm getting my message to the actual right person. One more thing, Jim, I'm going to share, and then I'll turn it back over to you, and then I'll be around for questions. The other thing you can do with this, how many of you, and I'm going to go over here to the chat box, how many of you either have done open houses or you want to, but the open houses you do suck? Just be real. Yes, they suck. No, my open houses are great. How many of you want to see how to turn your open houses on steroids? I'm going to show you something that's going to blow you away. Open houses suck. Yeah, see, you guys you get it. The crap that real estate gurus are training us about open houses, it ain't working, right? You get up in the morning and you go in Home Depot and you buy the open house signs and you blanket the road and the neighborhood and you get 3 people that show up. Pookie and them, the next door neighbor, and some homeless dude that thought he was getting some food, right? That junk don't hunt for me. If I'm going to do an open house, I want it flooded and I want the right clientele. So I'm going to use my address and show you a strategy you can do moving forward with open houses. So watch this, guys. Hang with me. I'm going to do this quick. I'm going to set a radius around an address. Let me go back to my address. Guys, if you haven't seen this yet, this is going to blow you away. Jim, I don't know if I've shown you this, Jim.
You have, it's phenomenal.
All right, watch this, guys. So I'm going to use my address. Now, let's assume that my address is my listing, right? Right now, it defaults to 2 miles and there's 10,000 people. I'm going to go out 5 miles. Now, let's talk about why. Well, before I tell you why, let me go to demographics. And the first thing I'm going to do is get rid of everybody but renters. I want you to see what happens. It went from, I don't know, 10, 12, 15,000 people. I'm getting rid of everybody for this strategy but renters. So now I've dropped it to 4,000, right? And I want renters that have been renting for 3+ years, and I'd like them to have an income of at least $75K or more a year. Now, guys, why am I doing this? Because I want to have an open house with people that are renting that are ready to fire their landlord. They just need to see a home that meets their needs. Why the 5 miles? According to NAR, when somebody buys their first home, they're going to buy within 5 miles of the home they're renting. Why? It's around the area of the schools their kids go to. They want to stay in that district. They go to church there. They want to stay close. All of their shopping, synagogues, churches, grocery stores, bowling alley, pub, it's there. Family members are living near them. They don't want to move far away. So they're going to consider the next home probably to be within 2 to 10 miles of their current address. So I pick a 5-mile radius as my starting point. So guys, right now, if I want to, I can send a card, but I'm not done. 3 years plus, 75K. Now let's go ahead and talk credit. I want to go ahead and pull people that have at least a 650. Here's why. I live in areas that have USDA financing, okay? I not only can market to them for possible zero down financing, I can also get them to come into my house. And here's how I'm going to do it. I'm going to sit now, guys. Did you notice I went from 10,000 people to 253 that I can go ahead and market to? So let's say in this scenario, 2 weeks from now, I'm holding an open house. I'm going to send this group of people a card. And again, 253. It's going to cost me on average $90, $90 to send every one of them a card inviting them to my open house. Now, here's what makes mine different. Check with your broker and your state rules. I don't want you to do something just because I said do it. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to partner with my family of the home. I'm going to reimburse them in the closing, but I'm going to get them to buy a TV, a 48-inch high definition TV. Say it's around $250. We can get them on sale all day long. On my card, I'm going to say for the first 50 families that register and come and see the home, you will be entered into a drawing for a free high definition 48-inch TV. You will be awarded it that day. We will notify you, come and pick it up. We would love to have you come look at our home. So there you go, guys. Your next open house, you can use this MailboxPower software to find your perfect buyer. You can then send them a card inviting them to your home. Maybe even put a link to a video from YouTube. Hey, if you'd like to see more about what my house offers and the open house and the drawing that we're going to do, check out my video ad, right? Put that on the card. However your marketing that you do that you think will attract it, and watch what happens to your next open house. You're inviting the right people and you're giving them some kind of a reason to show up. And when they show up and register, now you've got name, phone number, and email of potential clients to market. If they don't buy that home, you can find out if you can show them a different home. And you can market for things like zero down, right? So the sky's the limit. Now I'm going to go back over to the chat box. Have any of you, outside of me training on this, have any of you seen that type of strategy for open houses before? Yes or no? Okay. Now remember, if you saw me teach it, that doesn't count. Just drop some lines there, guys. I just want to see. Now, having heard this, if you were able to do what I just taught, don't BS me. I'm the ninja. I will come ninja chop you. If you had access to something like that, would you do a strategy like that or one of the other strategies I did and implement that as a monthly marketing procedure for your business? Could you see value in that? Yes or no? Perfect. All right, guys, so that's it. I just wanted to partner up with Jim today and share with you some of these marketing strategies. And the last thing I'll say, Jim, and then I'll go ahead and stop screen sharing and let you take over. Guys, it all comes down to this. Consistency. If any of you know Steve Angeli, he teaches the same thing. It's consistency. If you send out cards and you get cards that come back that they're undeliverable, so what? Keep sending out more cards, right? Do it every month. Set your budget. Here's what I'm going to spend on my cards for marketing. Here's what I'm going to spend on my cards to maintain my current database. And I'm going to do this every month. Guys, I do it 5 days a week. Every day of the week in the month, I'm sending out for sale by owner and expired cards. Now, the last thing I'm going to say, right here, for those of you that are MailboxPower users, I'll give this to you. For those of you that are not, you're watching this, when you sign up with the person that invited you, I'm going to, if you'll send me an email, and I'm going to drop my email on here, I will email you all 14 of my done for you cards as a gift for coming on this live Zoom today. I will give you, here's my cards, guys. There they are right there. Buyers, FSBOs, geofarming, the whole nine yards. It's done for you and they're editable. They have offers on them. If you want a different offer, just edit mine out, but they're done for you. I'm not going to charge you. So if you are thinking of doing MailboxPower and you like what I've spoken of, Jim's fixing to blow you away with the other part of this, then I'm going to drop my email. Make sure you get my email. You email me and let me know that you joined, or if you're already a member and you don't have my cards, I'm going to give it to you. And that will be Jim and my gift to you guys for taking the time to watch this. So Jim, I'm going to stop screen sharing and give it back to you, brother.
Kelly, that is truly phenomenal. I mean, that is absolutely phenomenal. And what I before, I'm only going to share a few things, but I want to add a couple things to what Kelly showed, because what he showed is so powerful. the example of Kelly sending cards to renters within 5 miles of his open house. Now, what he didn't say, and I know he used it, I mean, that is so powerful. But imagine as a realtor, you're on a listing presentation and you want to be different than all the other realtors. And you can say to that seller, whether they do an open house or not, how would you, let's say their listing is 300,000, which is ideal for a first-time buyer. How would you like me to send a card to everyone who is a renter, who has a credit score of 650 or more, who's making 70,000 or more, within 5 miles of your house? They're going to get a postcard within the first 10 days. And there's not a seller in the world that's going to say no. Nobody else is offering that seller that. And if they're willing to do an open house, you can say, and I'll do the same thing if you allow me to do an open house. But even if you don't want to do an open house, you can use that as marketing. And that one thing might get you that listing. I can't imagine a seller saying no to that. So Kelly is just phenomenal. I never thought of that, using the product that way before Kelly did. A couple other things like prospecting either your neighborhood or another neighborhood for listings. That is just absolutely brilliant. Rather than doing the farming that we're all taught, which is mailed to, like Kelly said, all 2,000 or 5,000 or 1,000 people in a neighborhood, you narrow it down to people that have lived there longer. But the only thing I'll add to that is imagine, and I just had a realtor call me this morning who was doing this, and he's having fantastic results. If you're going to farm either your neighborhood or any neighborhood and you're going to narrow it down, imagine paying a licensed FAA-approved drone photographer to take a couple photos, different angles of that neighborhood. So when you send them postcards, the front of the postcard is going to be an aerial shot of their neighborhood.
That's a good idea.
This morning and thanked me for that. It's just, I mean, and it's going to be a targeted mailing. So don't forget that. And Kelly talked about offers, and we really can't go into offers. And I do want to mention the two offers that I use. They're really short and they're really simple. If I was marketing my neighborhood, I always said on the back in some wording or another, who would be a better realtor to market a home in this neighborhood than a realtor who has lived in this neighborhood for years? And that's me. And, and then your photo and maybe a photo of your house. So that's one thing if you're marketing your own neighborhood. And I marketed other neighborhoods that weren't mine. And the thing that I would add to that was I'm completely different than any other realtor you've ever worked with. And that's very, very, very powerful. So just wanted to throw that in there. We're going to open this up to questions. I'm going to go through my portion very quickly, like 5 minutes, because I'm sure some of you guys have questions for Kelly. And what I share is a little bit different. I use the product the same way as Kelly. I coach it using to build a mailing list. It's phenomenal. But the other products within the company, as opposed to sending out conventional information, and this is when I say conventional information, this is what I mean, stuff I've collected from other realtors. And I sent this stuff out myself for 15 some years before I joined this company. But it's all about the real estate agent and the company. You can now send stuff out with your prospect or your client's photo of their house on it, either a card, mug, brownies, multiple products. You can put the photo not only on the card, but you can put the photo on the front of the envelope, whether it's a 5x7 envelope and card like this, or an 8.5 by 11 envelope like that. So powerful. Closing gifts. If you guys are not sending closing gifts, you're out of your mind. And I'm just guessing, but I've been doing this for 27 years. And I would say about half the realtors don't even give closing gifts. That's my estimate. And throughout the years, over times, when I got really busy, occasionally I didn't give closing gifts either, which is ridiculous. But whatever you're giving, there is nothing more powerful than what you can give through MailboxPower. And one of them is a box. The box, you put a photo of their house on. This is a closing I had a couple years ago. And I put an aerial photo of their house, and they're not going to throw that box away. And inside that box were 2 coffee mugs, both with a photo of their house, aerial photos of their house. Some brownies, 4 brownies with a short message on there, a Home Depot gift card, and a postcard with photo of their house. Thanks for working with me. And this next slide here actually shows what the cost of that gift was. And it's really powerful to think. And this included $17 postage when I sent it to myself. That's what I do with closing gifts. I send them to myself so I can carry that box that you see there on the top left into the closing. And after all the paperwork is signed, then I'll slide that box across the table to my client and thank them. And then they're going to either open the box then if they want, or they'll take it with them and open it later. But these are dirt cheap. These are dirt cheap, very inexpensive closing gifts. And they're all gifts that they're going to keep because they're customized with their name on them. Cindy is the #1 realtor in our market, and Cindy is also the realtor below me who uses MailboxPower more than any realtor. She's my #1 user. And between 5 and 15 brownies a day go out. Matter of fact, for those of you who are affiliates, Joe a couple weeks ago mentioned the top 10 brownie senders. Cindy was one of them, Cindy Shetterly. But everybody she has ever worked with gets a birthday card. We have birthday campaigns. I won't go into that on this one. Just keep in mind that you nor Cindy has to every year send a card out. She uses a campaign system, which is part of MailboxPower, puts their birthday in, their name, and their address in every year. MailboxPower, 7 days, or you can make that 10 days, whatever you like, before their birthday, prints the card, and she always sends 2 brownies. Really powerful way to stay in touch with your past clients. I always share this. It's on any of our products that you can customize, which are almost all the products. There's a few select gifts that you can send that without customization, but most of our gifts, and certainly all of our cards, you can customize. But you don't just drop a photo on there or a photo and wording. You can frame it. You can put backdrops on it. You can put multiple photos. You can put the wording on top of the photo. You can put photo on top of photo. It's like an open slate. It's really powerful, and people love these. I wrote a book, Revolution Real Estate Sales. It's available. The old version is on Amazon. Don't go there. Go to MailboxPower.com and buy this one if you like it. It's only $7.99. And please, whoever invited you to this presentation or sent you this video, because we are going to make a YouTube video out of this, go to MailboxPower.com and use their invitation code to join, because you do need an invitation code. So now I'm going to, actually, I think I am going to leave it open, and if I can always cut that part off, but I'm going to ask anyone who has any questions for Kelly or me to unmute yourself and fire away with any questions for either one of us.
Hey, Jim, how can I send this out to my realtor partners that did not make it to the call?
I will be making a YouTube video out of this, and it will be on my YouTube page, Jim McCord. It also will be in all the MailboxPower groups. So you'll see that within an hour or two. It'll be a YouTube video that you can copy the link and share that either as a Facebook message, a text message, an email message, LinkedIn message, whatever you like. Anybody else have any questions for Kelly or me?
Yeah, how do you get, my interface doesn't look anything like yours, Kelly. Yours looks like Ninja ×2. Mine looks like duh.
You talking about your dashboard?
Yeah.
It should look the same as mine.
The
only difference on mine is I got a bunch of cards on mine that I've sent out over time.
I finally got your collection loaded, right?
Yeah.
I got that. And, but mine just has across the top design store, view favorite designs, view purchase designs, and campaigns.
That's interesting. I would address that, Jim. I think I would address that. I don't know. All of our dashboards should look the same.
If I look over,
I can't imagine that your screen are any different. Maybe you're on a different screen. Kelly, I don't think started from his home page. He started from
oh yeah. I didn't start
the address book.
I started from the address part.
I don't have that.
Are you a pro member?
I was looking here. I see where it says that. I thought I saw it a minute ago. It said pro. I don't remember where I saw that now. Let's see. Is that under main menu?
Jim, pull up yours if you're still showing.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. Everybody has an address book, so I am sure that you just need to play around with a little bit more. So you'll see the home page. This is probably what you're familiar with seeing.
Yes, sir. That's what I see.
Now, Kelly didn't start there. Here, I'm clicking on address book.
Okay, address book. Okay.
So that's where that is. Actually, Kelly, I don't think he even started there. I think now I'm going to click on build a mailing list.
Yeah, I started on the next one. So there you go.
So this is what you saw.
Okay. That's what I needed help with.
Yep.
So address book and then build a mailing list.
And for those of you who do not know, there's two ways to join: a light membership or a pro package. Only pro package has access to the builder mailing list, and the pro package is only $49 a month.
Now, where did I see that to see that I am pro? I'm almost positive I am, but I don't know where it was.
Probably if you click up here on settings and my profile.
Okay.
Yep. Yep.
Pro. Okay.
Anyone else have any questions?
Yeah, I have one. How often is the data that they're dropping in the mailbox in the list? How often is that updated and where we have make sure it's the current address, the current owner information and all of that?
I don't have the answer to that. I don't know. Do you have that, Kelly?
Yeah. So what they do, and nothing is 100% error-free,
Right.
free. Typically what they do is they try to update their list once a month, but let me tell you how this big data works. Every time, Carol, you go out and you buy anything, if you go and apply for a card at Home Depot, credit card, whatever,
Right.
if you go and use your debit card at Macy's or you use your Macy's credit card, you know how all these people ask you for your zip code and they ask, and sometimes you give it to them, sometimes they're like, I'm not giving you that. Well, they kind of want it. That's how they keep track of you. So anytime you do a credit purchase, even stuff like gasoline, when you put your credit card in or your debt, they're tracking all of this. That's how they're collecting data. That's why whenever you go on sites and you click like Macy's or for dudes, if we go and click like, for a gun store, that stuff follows you, right? Well, anytime you go and fill out an application for mortgage or you fill out an application to rent a home, all of that data gets sold. And so what happens is they try to update that monthly, but it's not a guarantee. So what happens is they'll purge it every 6 months and make sure their data is good. And they do say that they try to keep the data about 98% right. I've found that when I purchase a list, say of 400 or 500 people, I'm probably going to get 10, 20, 30 back that say undeliverable. And then all I do is I go into my custom list inside of MailboxPower and I'll delete those. Every time I get a card that says, I just delete them, so I'm not sending them stuff. But the data itself is fairly decent, but it's going to have some corrupt data in it as well. But I'm fine with that because like I said, I can't go to Facebook. If I were to go to Facebook and buy 300 leads where I had a specific credit score, a specific income, if I could do it, it would probably cost me $3,000 to finally get that list put together. With them, I'm going to buy that list for $30 and just start weeding out the bad addresses. So that's kind of, that's how you do. But they try to update it once a month.
Okay, thank you.
And I'm going to add to that, because when there was a post made in one of our groups and I think it was 1,000 that were sent out and about 200 came back.
1,200. They sent 1,200 out, about 200 or 250 back.
That's right. And here's the way to look at that. Thank goodness they came back. That tells you that, you wouldn't want a list that you send out and nothing comes back. They're updating this and you don't want an old list. You know what I mean? And when I first joined real estate back in 1993, probably not 93 or 94, but early on in mid to late 90s, I used to buy mailing lists. And the mailing lists that you would buy that back then were pure garbage.
Yes.
It was they were about 20 or 30% accurate. And like Kelly was talking, in today's world where everything is automated, everything is digital, we're all online, these lists are very accurate. And to be able to mail, even if it's only 80%, and I think Joe said they guarantee 90%. I think that was a figure, but even if only 80% of your recipients are accurate, that is a really, really powerful tool to have. So look at that as a positive, not a negative.
All right, thank you.
And guys, when you are sending out cards and things, remember, these are human beings. These are not like a personal slot machine. I think a lot of times agents get these lists and they'll start sending out this information. And it's almost like we forget that we have to woo them. We have to date them before we can commit. And a lot of agents will send out cards that it's almost like, hey, are you ready to list your house? Or, hey, are you ready to go jump in the car and buy? And it's almost like instead of developing a relationship and then having, a wedding, And a honeymoon, we're just jumping straight to the hotel, just get the cigarettes and let's go. And so what you need to do is understand this tool is a powerful tool, but you have to craft your message that you're bringing value. What is it what is it you would want to hear from somebody selling you something as opposed to somebody just vomiting all over you? So guys, this is marketing at a high level, but it comes time to, as an agent, to craft your message so that you're giving value. Think about this. If you're giving value, they will respond. If you sound like a saleswoman or salesman, chances are they're gonna throw your card away. And I get cards. Jim, I don't know if I showed this to you. I got this card that somebody did an EDDM for my whole neighborhood. This is a third card she sent me. Complete waste of her money. It says, thinking of selling, ! And then it has a picture of the blonde-haired agent, which she's attractive. Where is she at? There she is. She's a pretty lady, right? For God's sake, don't put your pictures on your postcards. Just trust the ninja. Don't do it. Even if if you think you're good looking, just don't do it, please. Anyway, so she says, choose view and get 1,000 towards closing. Now that is her pitch. Choose view. The first time I got the card, I'm like, what the freak is a view? Until I realized in very little letters at the bottom of the card, it says View Realty. Never heard of them. And then the whole back of the card, Jim, look at this. Nothing on the back of the card, right? So this is what you don't want to do. What you want to do is send a card that has some kind of a value-added proposition that doesn't sound like you want them to call you and come list your home. Guys, that's how you win the day. Giving good value-added propositions every month, sending these out consistently with something new. Maybe next month, tell them about the new country music festival, right? Maybe a recipe. And by the way, if you'd like to know how much your home's worth, just call or text me. I love doing it, right? That's how you win the day. But as far as these lists are concerned, back to Carol's question, they're pretty accurate. So Jim, you're right. You got to weed through the stuff and then come up with the perfect list. So if you send out 1,200 and 200 come back, thank you, Jesus. Now I got 1,000 people that didn't come back. There's my clients right there. They're going to get something every month from me.
Any other questions, guys? Throw them out there if you got them. Anybody else like to chime in with any success they've had or how they're using MailboxPower?
I'll chime in real
Hey,
quick.
this is Rick. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, no problem. I'm just be quick. I'm not a realtor. I'm actually a home insurance agent, and I've used MailboxPower for my clients, and it's been phenomenal. All my business really comes from referrals from either a realtor or a lender, but mainly from current customers. They love the brownies. They love getting the cards on a regular basis. It's been a really big boost to my business, and it's just really fun just to show appreciation to people in a different way.
So Eric, can I jump in real quick? Do you say you do home inspection?
Homeowners insurance.
Homeowners, and would you say that realtors are people that would refer you to a lot of business?
Yes.
So just real quick, only because I use it, I got a card that I send out to realtors. I'm not going to go through the whole card, but here it is. It's a tri-card, 5x7, and I designed it just for realtors to let them know about MailboxPower. There's a company out there. I'm not going to give you the link right now. I'm not trying to push you into the company, but it's called My Plus Leads. And when you get it, I don't think you have to be a realtor to get it. But if you want to explore that, once you have it, you can pull up every FSBO for the last 1 year. And on one section of the Excel sheet, it's got, let's say you pulled a list of 1,000 of them. It's got the realtor's email address and their phone number. And it also has the brokers. You could send them cards directly through a company like that. Or if you partner with any realtors that are local, they might be able to give you lists of realtors that you can start sending. But I would be sending these cards to realtors like crazy. Hey, if your family needs insurance, I'm your guy. Let's talk. And then maybe, like Jim said, send them some brownies. Oh my God, if I were in your position, I would be going after realtors like crazy with these gifts, these brownies, these cards, and watch what happens to your business blow up in 2021. If I knew you existed, I would use you. If you sent me this, right? No other insurance companies, and I am all the time looking for insurance guys. And guys, it doesn't matter what business you're in. I'm saying this stuff works. But if you sent me a card, I promise you I would be calling you and saying, hey, my client needs some insurance.
Thanks for contributing that, Eric. Rick, you got your hand up. Go ahead.
Oh, yeah, I was just going to say that I got on really late and just wondering if this was going to be made available for later viewing.
Yes, this will be a YouTube video before the day's out.
Okay, great. And Eric, if you want to put your contact info in the chat, I'd like to capture that and give you a buzz later.
Well, good. Thank you.
Anybody else? Okay, if we don't have anybody else, Kelly, thank you so much.
Hey,
Good
Jim,
job, guys.
Yeah,
this isn't directly what you talked about today, but following up with your clients and prospects is very important. Repeat business, referral business, it comes from follow-up. I did it for years in the mortgage business. I'm retired. I retired 2 years later. I was still getting calls. I hadn't sent anything out. What I do now for clients that I want to keep in touch with, and a lot of them are real estate agents, I do birthdays. I do a custom card, a custom envelope, a standard card. I use the box with cakes in it. I had a call this morning from a real estate agent I talked to in almost a year. They're going to be interested in Mailbox Power. But you could do that with your real estate clients. You can do it with any clients that you have. Stay in touch. It really pays.
Phenomenal. Thank you, Alan Gross. Anybody else?
Real quick, I don't know if you guys mentioned the link that you can send via email, text, where someone can enter their information in for you. Saves you a lot of time. You don't have to build your own database. You know, you can have people actually go and put their information in and send you a text, let you know they put their information in, and then maybe you want to go in and, okay, let me put them in the birthday group or, you know, whatever marketing that you would have for that individual. But you don't manually have to enter in the information.
Yeah, that is brilliant. There are so many features about Mailbox Power that Kelly and I couldn't bring up on this short call, but I'm glad you brought that one up, Eric. That's a great feature. It's so powerful. You can just send a link, and then when that link, whatever you have attached to that link, whether it's just a card or whether it's a campaign, it could be multiple cards, will be sent out the next day. It's incredibly powerful. Anybody else? Last call. Okay, Kelly, thanks again. And keep us in mind, we're here every Wednesday at 1 o'clock Eastern time. You guys have a great week.
Thanks,
Great
Kelly.
job, guys. Thank
Thanks,
you.
Jim. Thanks, Kelly.
Good session.